supermarket shopping, everyone has trolleys and they're also blocking the aisles. And the other weird thing that happened was that I had two people, both girls, they both backed straight into me. Now, who walks backwards in a supermarket? Obviously it's a big trend here. So that was pretty weird. The other weird thing that happened was I was told you don't have to sign for prescriptions anymore when you pick them up. And I went to the same chemist as I always go to, and the young girl who served me, she said no, you still have to sign. So, okay, isn't it great when you get two stories from the one place? So I don't know if she's got it wrong, or the other woman. The other woman presumably worked there a bit longer. I'm sure this one's new, so I don't know. But you think she'd be up with the latest, wouldn't you? But no. Anyway, it's a nice day. The other thing I'm thinking about doing is maybe not doing a whole redesign of the kitchen, but just getting new doors and getting a new oven. Even though it's not ideal because it's on the ground level, I don't feel like spending a lot of money on that kitchen, but I don't know. I've got a few options here, but I'm certainly not impressed. This guy would have quoted me over 20 grand, and that's just ridiculous because, like I said, I think the one at the estimate for the one through Bunnings is about 8. So it's a big difference in price. Again, maybe I should just get new doors to go on top of the cupboards that are there. They're not big cupboards, but it's only me there anyway. And to get the new tops might be a major issue too. I don't know, we'll see. I'll have a chat to him about it anyway, because I reckon I might be able to save a lot of money by doing it that way. So I just don't want to throw away money. I've got other things I want to spend money on, and yeah, I've just got a feeling they're charging top dollar at the kitchen places. That might be just standard with kitchen places. They do charge a lot. But you've still got to get your plumber and your electrician in as well, on top of everything else. So ovens didn't seem too expensive. I checked them out. Oh, jeez. I'm copping it all the day, getting all the traffic. I was going to go on a very long walk today, all the way up to Earlville, which is about 2.5 kilometres up the road past Kazali Stadium. But I was in search of a replacement shaver, even though I bought one just recently. About 2 months ago I think I bought it. It was before my trip, so it must be about 3 or 4 months ago that I bought it, and it was actually from China. It was pretty gaudy looking, but it was a battery electric one, and it had the 3 floating heads, which I usually use in the brand, the Philips brand, but I thought I'd give it a go. But I've got to say, there's a few problems with it, and one of them is that those individual heads, one out of 3 actually, look today, 2 out of 3 of them popped out of their place. They don't, you can't really put too much pressure on without the actual individual heads just popping out, so that's not good. And secondly, I've noticed that the quality of the shave has deteriorated quite markedly in about the last month. And I'm not a hard shave by any stretch. I mean, that's why I use an electric shaver, but it doesn't work. It's just not a good, doesn't get the stubble. Pretty basic. So yeah, it's just not up to scratch. So I put it together again today after the heads fell out, or popped out. I had to find them where they were in my living room, because of course they're spring-loaded type things, and they jump out in all different directions, and it's always the most inconvenient spot they land in, Murphy's Law. Anyway, I put it together, and remarkably it did work after I did that. But like I said, the shave itself is just not up to scratch. So I thought the best value I found was Big W way up in Earlville. There's none here, unfortunately, not a Big W. But before I trot off all the way up there, I decided to basically check Kmart and Target here. And what I found was that there's actually a Remington 3-head shaver, which is also rechargeable, and that's only 39 bucks. The Philips one would have cost me 49, so 10 bucks more, and I need to go all that distance. And it got better reviews, so I figure why not give it a go. I mean, they're not expensive things anyway. I think the one I bought online was about 25 bucks, maybe even less, between 20 and 25. But it is cheap and it is nasty, and it just doesn't do a good enough job. So I'll use this as an emergency backup if my my Remington breaks down. But yeah, the Remington got good reviews, so I'll give that a go. So I just got back from Target, got my bag. And one thing I noticed though with Target, they're now auto checkouts. You can't get a person anymore. It's exactly the same as supermarkets, except there's no option to have a checkout chick or guy, I should say. You do get plenty of guys doing it too these days. Either one to actually tally up your bill, which is a bit slack. I mean, I like that. Probably partially because I've got crap eyes, so I don't want to use the machines. They're not hard to use, but I just couldn't be bothered. So, but I think that's pretty poor that Target doesn't even give you an option. They're just all auto. From what I could see, I couldn't see anybody behind a counter. So I think that's pretty poor, and it's not good for employment. So, not happy with that one, Target. So, obviously a cost-cutting exercise. Of course, there's other corporates I'm not too happy with. I've already mentioned ANZ in the past. And on top of that, there's what is it? There's Hungry Jack's. Hungry Jack's equivalent, which is Burger King in the US. They've got some. I can't remember what the dispute was actually, but there is some dispute there that they took the politically correct side of the equation, and that's disappointing. So yeah, I just can't remember what it was, because over in the States there's been a lot of corporates using the politically correct type signia to basically stop people shopping at their places who have certain political persuasions, which is insane. But oh, that's right, the latest one was actually Nike. They were banning they had the American flag, the old American flag, Confederate flag, I think it was, 13 state flag, on their runners, and because Kaepernick, a football player over there, complained, they withdrew it from sale. And even though it was a legitimate flag and it was in its time, he came up with this. It's all this repatriation stuff about slavery. It's tied in with that, and it's all political, and people are doing well, especially the black community in America are doing well at the moment, because Trump's actually creating a lot of jobs, and that's really more basic, and that's why his support's gone up. But people like Kaepernick, who live in a bubble, celebrity bubble, like the LA bubble, the Hollywood bubble, they don't relate to average people. Average people just want to make a buck and don't want the government hassling them too much to get on with their lives. That's really what they want. But these people like to grandstand. That's what they're all about. But I think it could backfire on them. It's like the anti-male campaign that was run by Gillette over there. That was insane, run by an ardent feminist. And I'm pretty sure their sales have dropped since that campaign debuted. So, I mean, I know people went out of their way to buy a different type of pool razor just to avoid it. So it does have consequences. Go woke, go broke, that's it. Yeah, disappointing again. Very light shop today because Coles didn't have the stuff, but again, at least I got my shaver from Target, and that's good. Like I say, it's annoying having stubble after you've actually had a shave. You should at least have a clean face for about half the day anyway before that starts growing back. So it's not good. Anyway, we'll see how we go with the Remington. There were some negative reviews about the Phillips, so I decided to pass on it, considering I had to go all that way anyway. And also it's cheap, $10 cheaper for the Remington, so and maybe there's some snob appeal with the Phillips brand. A bit like Sony, because I had problems with that sound system, which is a Sony, and I had a TV years ago, it was a Sony, and that was absolute crap. So other things that I've got from Sony are okay, but they're not good overall. You know, their whole range isn't fantastic. So you've got to be selective. So Yeah, but I won't make any more big purchases for a while. I'll get my overseas trip out of the way and then I'll reassess things. Should get a decent tax return. I won't have to pay any tax this year, which will be nice compared to last year. But it is confusing the way they've set it up, but it didn't take me too long. Got it all done on Monday, so on the 1st of July. I've never done it that quickly before, so I might have totally botched it, but at least it's done. So hopefully I'll be getting myself a nice fat refund deposited into my account in the next few days, early next week hopefully. Not sure what the time frame is, so we'll see. Please consider subscribing to my channel if you think there's anything there of use to you, or entertainment or whatever. And either do that or give me a thumbs up, or if you're feeling really energetic, do both. That'd be great. But please don't ignore me. That's the worst thing you can do on YouTube, is be ignored.